Namaste, everyone, and welcome. So just make sure that's set up. So hello again. This is Monday, and I'm back here in my man cave in my studio. So thank you very much for joining me. I know a lot of you were with us last couple of weeks when I was in Florida, and thank you for all the great feedback. I know one of the most feedback we got was when you were appreciating having Sage Robbins with me in the full moon meditation. So right now we still have it in the Pranic Healing and pranichealing.com, mastercode.org sites just for tonight. Well, 24 hours. We'll give it 24 hours. Facebook and YouTube already, I think we took it down already. It's just to respect her privacy, All right? So anyway, so today, you're going to hear another Chinese proverb. And that's what it is noisy outside, empty inside. Chinese proverb. Very simple. That's why I love it. It's just short, direct to the point, hit you on the head. Okay? Noisy outside, empty inside. What exactly does that mean? I think you met people like that where they're not too smart or they have a lot of insecurities. So they overcompensate by being loud, being noisy, being putting this facade that they're no more than what they really do, which is not much, okay? And I'm sharing this with you because oftentimes we fail to observe. And it all goes back to what we always talk about. The ability to observe comes from first knowing who you really are. That you are the soul, you are the spiritual self, you're the observer. Okay? With observing, you get to inquire. When you get to inquire, you get to take action. When I say action, it's not just physically, it's also emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Remember, the soul is the anima, the animating factor, right? The animating being that moves the body, creates the feelings, creates the thoughts. So without first the ability to observe, there's a tendency to have the emotions get all stirred up, the mind jumps all over the place, and the body wants to do something because it's a certain level of inadequacy. Now, I'm sharing this with you so that we can take the time to say, okay, when a situation happens, oftentimes you see people shooting their mouth, like, oh, whatever, and then they talk, they yak, spit out their opinions. And oftentimes, I've sat in conversations where a person talks for 15, 20 minutes, and the whole thing could have been summarized in one sentence. And so they're going... Sometimes I dread going to certain meetings where people just talk and talk, go in a circle. I'm going, what is your point? I don't need to hear you think. But you see, that's exactly, since they're empty inside, in other words, they don't know what's going on, or they don't have I shouldn't say don't have a clue. They have very limited knowledge. Instead of sitting there and being quiet and observe, okay, what's going on? Do I know this topic? I don't know this topic. This is how much I know. What do? They wrap it up in noise. As in, they talk, they get emotional, do all this stuff. To do what? To cover up the nothing that's inside. You see, we believe in the nothingness, but we're looking at it from the viewpoint that the soul is nothing, not a physical thing, but a spiritual being made of pure energy. That's the idea of nothing. In their case, their idea of nothing is like it's empty. There's nothing inside. They don't have much knowledge. They don't have much experience. Instead of saying, okay, maybe I need you to shut up and learn, be quiet, they make noise to compensate for the emptiness inside. Make sense? Now, this also happens emotionally. That part we're talking about mentally. Emotionally, it's the same. When a person is empty inside, they need to look for something to kind of give them meaning, a feeling of, oh, I'm wanted. So what do? They overcompensate, right? Now, all of us have been there. And that's usually the lack of what? Again, back to the same thing. Lack of knowing who the I am really is. So when you realize that you are the soul, you're the spiritual self, you're one with God, you're one with all, essentially, we're one with everything, right? Okay. Now, it doesn't mean you know everything, but at least you have that knowingness. Okay. That knowingness. You know that, okay, I'm the spiritual self. I don't need to know everything. That's why I'm learning and growing and evolving. So let me just observe. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? How am I doing emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually? Observe. Okay, that's where I'm at. Now, this particular topic, These things people are talking about, I don't have a clue what they're talking about. So I'll just shut up and learn. But sometimes what happens? The emotions, the thoughts need to but I need to show how good I am. I need to show this. Look, if you're really that good, you're really that smart, you're really that capable, you don't have to go out of your way to show it. People will know it. In fact, it's interesting. I've been to meetings where you can tell who really knows a lot because that person just keeps quiet. They just keep quiet. They observe. There's an air of confidence, not arrogance, just confidence. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Oh, that doesn't make sense. This person is crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. You can tell by their facial expression. And then they just observe. And when the whole thing was done, or that particular topic is done, they say a few things. And when they say a few things, boom, you go, wow, this guy knows a lot. It could be they know a lot, or they're smart enough to observe, look at what's going on, and then from that, they see a pattern, they draw a conclusion, then they talk. While other people who don't know much, what happens? They yak right away to compensate for, like they're doing something, like they know something. In fact, if you think about it, some of us are like that. Instead of showing productivity, we're showing we're busy. I say we because I oftentimes have to catch myself. Okay, last 4 hours I've been busy. Busy as in my body was moving, my mouth was moving, my emotions were going all over the place, my mind was jumping from one topic to the other. Did I produce anything? Not really. Okay, complete waste of time. Get the idea? That's where the real mindfulness comes in. And I know a lot of you, that's the buzzword on the internet for quite a while, mindfulness, this and that. The true mindfulness, if you want to write this down, is as simple as this. Mindfulness is the ability of the spiritual self to detach itself from everything, be able to observe of what's going on at that moment. It's that simple. You can write books about it. You can write blogs and blogs and blogs, but the bottom line is true mindfulness is first what? Extracting the I from everything else and realize I am the center. I'm the soul. I'm the spiritual self. Okay. Everything else is happening outside of the I. Then I observe, okay, what's going on in the material world? What's going on with my emotions? What's going on with my thoughts? What's going on with how am I responding, this and that? As you observe, that act of observing in that frame of mind, or in that frame of time, like in a movie, you have frames, like that frame, observing and observing and observing, that's true mindfulness. And if you do it that way, you'll notice you have better control over your earthly life. Going back to the same objective. That's why we meditate. Because when you're meditating, what are you doing? You're realizing that you're not the body. That's the reason why you immobilize your body, make sure there's no noises in the room, no stinky smell, no whatever. In other words, all your senses are being kind of left alone, not being stimulated. Right? The 5 senses. That's the physical body. And then from there, you watch your emotions, okay? Since there's nothing stirring up, then you get to observe, how am I feeling? Okay. But I want to meditate, so, okay, let's set this aside for now. Not suppressing. See, some of you have actually written down, oh, that's suppressing, you're supposed to feel. I never said suppress. It's just observing. Then you also observe your thoughts. Okay, what's going through my mind? Worried about this, worried about that. Okay, all those need to be taken care of, but there's a time and place for everything. So what you're doing is you're practicing mindfulness first by extracting yourself from everything, observing who you are, and then observing all the noise, the clouds, and everything happening outside. It's just like you pull yourself out and you're just observing the sky. Okay. That's what meditation is. Then what do? As you observe, you go, okay, this. Okay, but these are not me. Let me go deeper to who I am. Affirm my inner knowingness of the I. That has an empowering effect. Once you get to a deeper part of you, what happens? The stillness. Get the idea? So you're not trying to get stillness. Stillness is simply the realization that you're not any of these. And boom, they're there. Then you go deeper, because stillness has many, many levels. Once you get to that level of stillness, simultaneously there's clarity. Because when you're experiencing that stillness, you're simultaneously realizing that stillness is a byproduct of knowing that you are not all these worries, cares, or concerns. And it works inversely. Make sense? The more you realize who you really are, the less you realize that these are not I. Is that right? The more that these are not I. And so that realization of who I really am, the stillness deepens, the more these become distant. Then you get to reclaim who you are, your inner power, your love, your intelligence. And then when you come back from your meditation, you look at everything through something very, very clear. Rather than before, where your windscreen or windshield is full of bugs. Then, what happens? There's no noise outside. There's no noise inside. You have stillness. From there you go, okay, with this, what's going on here? This is what I should say. This is what I should do. This is how I should move forward. That's self-mastery. I was just in Life Mastery a few days ago, when I gave that talk at Life Mastery about self-mastery. And of course, I know some of you are here. You watch that. I thought about it after I was done and go, man, I think I hit them with a sledgehammer. Because I only had like 40 minutes to take someone who doesn't have no clue who they really are, right? Of course, there are a lot they are, but some of them have no clue. They think they're the body, the emotions, and thoughts, to kind of cut it down and say, hey, you're not the body, not emotional thought. You're the spiritual being using this. Imagine for somebody who doesn't know that, and suddenly, boom, you get hit like, oh, you mean this hand is not me? You mean this is not the I? And I was watching some of the people on the screen, like, I don't know, there's 2,000 some people. You look at it somewhere like, it was interesting to watch. So hopefully that seed we planted allowed people to really do a deeper search on who they really are. So that was the topic, self-mastery. They have life mastery, wealth mastery. I figured, okay, everybody's practicing emotional mastery, mental mastery. Let's talk about spiritual mastery. How the spirit or the spiritual self is able to control the body, the emotions, and thoughts. And that's what we do here every single time when we do Anchor the Light. And if you're joining us from that, I hope you recovered from the all the energy was poured out into you in 40 minutes. You see, what people don't realize is this. I think if you've been with me long enough, you know this. One of the reasons why you can understand and learn something so quickly, not the only reason, one of the main reasons is, in addition to talking, we blast you with energy. Haven't you noticed after or during the talk, a lot of times when you're listening, some of you could feel a certain vibration? Let me know if you do. I'm curious if you're sensitive enough. Or during the lecture, you will notice that your mind is very, very clear. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh. You know why? Not only is data, information being given to you, if you're sensitive, mass amount of spiritual energy is poured into you. You go, well, yeah, but you don't know where I am, and I'm watching this on a replay. It doesn't matter. You see, I wasn't planning on this, but I'll just connect this to you because a lot of you came from UPW and Life Mastery. It's as simple as this. At the last part of the Life Mastery, I talked about this. Although science tells us everything is molecules, atoms, electrons, neutrons, protons, and so on, that's the material side. But science has already discovered, finally, that everything in the universe basically consists of fields, like waves of energy, everywhere. Essentially, everything in the universe is essentially fields. That's what they call the quantum field theory, okay? Anyway, without boring you with details, it's as simple as this. Just imagine the entire universe is just fields. There's nothing material, there's nothing solid, just fields. So, these fields of energy, every time a certain attention is put into a certain part, that part of the field individualizes and starts having the properties of particles. Hence, solid, liquids, gas, plasma, have molecules, electrons, and a nucleus. Now, in addition to that, you have to realize all these fields, it's not just like waves moving around. All these waves moving around of fields, every part of it is also connected with time. So you have space, simultaneously there's time. So every particle in the universe, if you pick a certain point, That point is just like when you pick something on the globe, there's latitude and longitude, right? So just imagine you pick any part in space, that particular part is also has space-time. It's part of space-time. There's like, oh, right here. Okay, that is happening at this time at a certain point in space. Now, the act of putting your attention there, that means that now has data. Now, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have data before. Data is flowing. It's just when you're there, you're capturing it. That's what you call the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. I think I'm boring you guys, huh? Anyway, so as you understand this, you realize that everything in the universe, the information is already woven in time and space. So when you and I are talking, we're thinking consciousness, all consciousness does is it puts part of this field into a certain frame of time so the information cannot be understood. So even though we're talking like this, even if this thing is done, the recording is there, when you replay it and you start listening and you start studying and you're doing the meditation, you're tapping into that data that's already in space, including the energy that it releases. That's it. Very simple. That's what you call oneness. You see, the beautiful thing about quantum mechanics is it gave us an opportunity to have a deeper understanding, not complete understanding, a deeper understanding of what yogis and monks and spiritual masters have known for millions of years. Everything in the universe is made of energy. But it has not been kind of put into certain smaller frames of study. That's where the word quantum comes from. The word quantum physics, quantum, simply means everything is quantized, put in little packets. So just imagine you have these fields flowing throughout the entire universe that includes information, love, light, power, whatever else you can think of. But the minute you put your attention on something, it's quantized, it's compartmentalized. Oh, this is a human being. Oh, this is anger, this is love. All that energy is already everywhere. All you're doing is putting it into a studyable, is that right English? A smaller container that you can study and learn. That's it. Super simple. So, ordinary people that have not studied this, wow, man, all this, when you do this, you meditate, I feel this, I see that, whatever. You know what that is? That term they use to make you understand all these things, they just simply call it magic because they don't understand it. But once you understand quantum physics a little better, actually nobody claims to really know it. In fact, Dr. Feynman says, I think Feynman is his name, who knows heck a lot more about quantum mechanics than anybody else, says, if you really think you know about quantum mechanics, you really don't. But everything essentially is energy. Now, the next part that they need to figure out is, once they know about this energy, how's astral energy? How's mental energy? How's intuitive energy? All these different planes of existence. That's when they have to figure out, how does that work with this universal field? Once they figure that out, spirituality and science will be indistinguishable. That's that. Anyway, sorry I diverted. I hope you learned something out of it, or I made you more confused, but at least you can say, hey, I'm a disciple of Confucius. No, okay. All right. Anyway, one of these days we'll dive more into it, okay? Now, going back to the main topic we're talking about, noisy outside, empty inside. As we do our meditation, we connect to our higher soul, to God, to source. People have different names for it. As you connect, the divine energy comes down and purifies these thoughts and negative thoughts and emotions out of our system. So it cleanses the inner noise as well as the external noise, but more of the inner noise. When you say inner noise, that's the noise created by the body, the emotions, and the thoughts, the desires, the wants, the needs. Those have to be flushed out. That causes a stillness within us. And with that stillness comes knowing of who we really are, and then we get to regulate our thoughts that we create, regulate the emotions we create, the movements that we create. It's been the same message ever since we did this Anchor Light thing, last March. And God willing, if we continue this for who knows how long, that will still be the main message. That will never change. Because Without that as foundation, everything else is decoration. Just decoration. The foundation is you have to know who the I really am. Without it, it's just another technique. It's just another something that's shiny. Oh, it's not a fad. It's not a this, not a teaching. If that part is not within you, the rest is a complete waste. Well, not complete waste of time, but substantial waste of time. Because anything else would not last. You'll have to go back straight to who you really are, and from there, work your way out. So when people say, I want to go back to my center, it's funny. I've talked to people, what's your center? Just people say, I'm centered. Okay. I'm off center. What does that mean? People give you, I've never heard the same answer twice. In other words, people don't know. In reality, when you say center, that center is center as in who you really are, looking out, you're the center of your circumference. Everything else is happening outside of the I. And once you go back to who the real I is, there's stillness, there's peace, there's love, there's power, there's wisdom, intelligence. From there, you act on your external world. That's that. Very simple. Okay, so let's meditate. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers. Personally, to my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahago Jumailing, we thank you for divine light, divine love, divine guidance, help, healing, and divine protection. We thank you. In full faith, so be it. Okay, put your hand like this. Focus on your crown gently. I am that I am. I'm not the body, I'm not the emotion, I'm not the thoughts, I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am that. The soul, the spiritual self. I am connected in one to my higher soul. I am connected in one to the divine spirit, the divine spark in me. I am a child of God. I am one with God. I am one with all. There is only oneness. Just be still. Just listen. You're not the body, you're not the emotion, not the thoughts, you're the soul. You are a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. You are connected in one to your higher soul. You are connected in one to the divine spirit in you. You are a child of God, you're one with God, you're one with all. That is your true nature. Be still and know it. We are one. Just maintain your stillness and awareness of this oneness. Now raise your hands in blessing. Just say, we are one. Be aware of your heart in your hands. Feel the earth in front of you. Just imagine a globe or a little ball in front of you representing the earth. Fill it with beautiful pink light. So be aware of your heart, be aware of your hands. Fill the earth with beautiful pink light. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Wherever there's hatred anywhere in the world, let me sow unconditional love. Bless your family, bless your loved ones, your friends and relatives, people you work with, the city, the state, the surrounding countries, the country and their surrounding countries, and the entire earth with beautiful pink light, blessing every person, every being with peace and unconditional love. Where there is injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. Where there is doubt, let me sow faith. Where there is despair, let me sow hope. There's so many places in the world where people going through challenging times with their health, with their finances, with their relationships. May all of them be blessed with hope and with faith and a better tomorrow. So be it. So be it. Where there is darkness, let me sow light. Darkness is the ignorance of one's true nature, which is a being of light. So bless every person, every being with a realization that they are a spiritual being of light. And where there's sadness, let me sow a tremendous amount of joy. Be aware of your heart. Say our hearts are one. And from that oneness, fill the earth with beautiful pink light, blessing every person, every being with peace, with love, with a spirit of forgiveness and reconciliation, with hope and with faith, with light and joy. So be it. So be it. Now be aware of your heart. Take a deep breath. Be aware of your crown. Exhale. And stay there. Your crown is filled with so much golden light. Let that golden light flow down through your hands and fill the entire earth. Starting with your family, your friends, people you know, fill them with golden light. And let that golden light spread throughout in radius to the city, state, country, and the entire world. From the heart of God, may every person, every being on earth be blessed with love and kindness. Let all be blessed with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and peace. May all be blessed with peace, love, and kindness. Let my soul be filled with peace, love, and kindness. So be it. Just be still and let the blessings flow through us. Peace, love, and kindness to all, without exception. So be it. Now, be aware of your heart, be aware of your crown. Take a deep breath. Exhale, imagine beautiful golden light just pouring down into earth, even brighter than before. Just say, our hearts are one, our souls are one, our spirits are one. There's only oneness. And in this oneness, we humbly ask to be channels and pipelines to allow divine blessings to every person, every being on earth. From the center of the heart of God, may every person, every being in the higher worlds, middle worlds, even the lower worlds, let every sentient being in every dimension, every direction, above and below, be blessed with God's unconditional love and kindness. Let all be blessed with inner peace, inner healing, for many at this time, emotional, physical, and financial healing. May all be blessed with understanding, harmony, goodwill, and especially the willingness to do good. May all be blessed, so be it. So be it, and so it is. Now be still. Just keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Just be still. That stillness allows the energy to flow through us unimpeded. Keep going, just let it flow. Now lower your hands. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Imagine a beautiful golden star or miniature sun just floating above your head. It's so bright. The image doesn't have to be clear. No, it's there and it's super bright. Now be aware of your heart. Send a stream of love to that beautiful golden star. Send a stream of love from your heart up to the crown and into that brilliant star. And stay there. Just stay there. And listen. Your entire consciousness is now inside that beautiful star. You're not the body. You are that brilliant light. You're that spiritual star. You're not the emotions. You're not your thoughts. You are that spiritual being, that brilliant light. That is your true nature. Be still and affirm it by saying, I am that light. That radiant light am I. Be still. Remember your true nature. Remember who you are. Om. Allow your awareness to just drift deeper and deeper into that golden star. Om. Om. Be still. Be aware of that light that is you. And just simply let go and just let things be. Just let things happen. Now. Here's extra special sauce. Special energy. Take you higher. Be receptive. Higher frequency. Now. Let go. Remember who you are. Your true essence. Your center. Just light. That is you. Gently. Very slowly. Come back to your body. Gently move your fingers and your toes. Very gently and slowly come back. Take your time. Now raise your hands in blessing. Let's release the excess energy our bodies cannot absorb. Share it with the world. Start with the people you love. Fill them with beautiful golden light. May all of them be blessed with good health, with happiness, with prosperity, and with spirituality. So be it. So be it. May all be blessed. So be it. Now be aware of your feet and the base of your spine. Project golden light down into the earth. Let our beloved Mother Earth be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let our beloved Mother Earth be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. Blessings be to Mother Earth. So be it. Just fill the earth below you with golden light. May all be blessed. So be it. All right, let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme One, Divine Father, Mother. Thank you. To all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers. Personally, to my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahaguji Meling, we thank you for your great, great blessings. In full faith, so be it. Okay, open your eyes. That was a short meditation, but we cranked it up a little bit. Now, some of you might be wondering, okay, how does that work with intention? You know, I've read people say it's all about intention. It's something like this. Intention is always coupled with energy. The question is, how much energy? How much energy is dependent on many factors. Number one, the focus of and the strength of that intention. And number two, who's doing the intending. You see, back to that part in quantum field, you have this field going in the universe. When you set an intention, what happens is that intention takes a part of that field and individualizes it or focuses it. It's just like just imagine you have a piece of cloth that's moving around. You grab that piece of cloth and crumple it. That's what you do when you intend. Here's the problem. I'll talk about this more tonight. A lot of people say, oh, it's all about intention. Number one, if their intention is not clear, then it's just a little ripple. Number two, it also depends on the size of their chakras, the size of their energy body. If their chakras and energy body are strong, one little intention, massive amounts of energy, focuses the energy. Focuses that. Just again, back to that example of that big piece of cloth. If that person has clarity and that person has a lot of energy, he or she, the minute they intend something, it's just like they grab a big part of it, it stays there. So ordinary people who are lazy asses and don't want to do anything with their spiritual practice, they say, I intend this, I intend that. The reason nothing happens in their life, their chakras are tiny, they don't know what they want, they're dilly-dallying around. So when I intend this, it's just like, bleep. Just imagine you have this cloth coming down, cloth moving around, they just go, need a little pinch. Since they don't have much energy, it releases. That's why nothing happens in their life. You realize that? And how much are we charging you for this? Nothing. If you still don't practice, I don't know what else to do with you. We basically condensed probably, 50, 100 books for you and just shared it with you in less than 20 minutes. The only thing left is what? For you to practice. That's it. All right? Anyway, we'll talk about it tonight, the power of intention. And I can guarantee you, it's not what you expect. Really, it's not what you expect. It's simpler than what you think. But it will still require work on everybody's part. Okay? So we'll see you 7 hours and 20 minutes from now. Namaste, everyone. You all take care. And